Here's Wells again, spinning, picked up a couple of extra yards after contact as he crosses midfield. And having an outstanding year at linebacker. And first down, second effort again, powerful run. Crable was hanging on to Beanie that time, but he muscled his way for the first down. Kirk, that was a strong run. Beanie will try to get into the red zone, and he does. So it'll be a 1st and 10 side him. So they got Robisky, and then they run Beanie. The Robisky side, 10, 5-yard line, 1st and goal coming up for Ohio State.
Michigan again bringing a blitz, and a good job. Steve Raring comes around, boom, picks up a block right there on Chris Graham, who is about to come down and make the play on Beanie Wells. 71 Raring coming around, and as soon as he turned the corner on the pull, Chris Graham, who is lined.
So Beanie's back on the field, fullback, and he barges into the end zone. Behind the left side, Steve Raring, Alex Boone, center Jim Cordell, and Beanie Wells puts the Buckeyes ahead today for the first time.
Jim Tressel, nice job there with the play calling, mixing run along with the pass. I think it got Michigan's defense back on their heels, lost a bit of their aggressiveness. Nice block, lead block by Bailey, but Beanie Wells lowering the boom that time on a big safety. Engelman right at the goal line to get into the end zone.
Beckman. Here's Beanie again, slashing right side. Slipped that first man off. Looks like he's... Well, that'll stop the clock with a 1st and 10 by Beanie. Coming out now from the 37-yard line. Steady diet. Beanie Wells breaks past midfield, breaks into the clear. Foot race for the end zone. 6 on the board for the Buckeyes. 62 yards. So you call back a 65-yarder, you snap it, and you go 62 for the touchdown. There is. Watch this. Showing you why he could become a great one someday.
Some shots right there.
Some of those fiberglass boys from the NASCAR circuit. And looking for more is Beanie Wells. What's interesting to me is the lack of substitutions by both sides in this game so far. We have not seen Mo Wells. We've not seen Brandon Sane. It has been all Beanie Wells. Deontay Johnson, the fullback. Hartline, Robisky, Small, getting the majority of reps as a wide receiver. Same is true of Lloyd Carr's offense. Your best players stay on the field in a game like this. 2nd down and 4 for the Buckeyes. They lead it 14-3. Beanie steps his way for another 1st down, breaks free to the midfield. Starting to wear down the Wolverine defense.
Ohio State's winning the battle in the line of scrimmage. The fullback, Johnson, Pepper Johnson's son, watch him, boom, open it up right there. And the safety, Jamar Adams, is struggling right now in run support and coming up and trying to tackle Beanie Wells. Poor tackling right there and strong running from Beanie Wells.
What happened? 6.5 minutes here. Beanie Wells breaks free again to the 40-yard line. He's closing in on a 200-yard day, but was that a hammy? He reached back with that right hand. Is that a hamstring?
He definitely came up. This is a big block here. This time the fullback who's in there is Tyler Whaley. It's been the same call, an isolation play. The safeties continue to take poor angles, poor tackling on the back end, and I don't know, Brett, at this point, but they're just starting to get a little intimidated of Beanie Wells and his 240 pounds coming in.
When you take a look at what he's accomplishing here today.
Well, I think it starts up front. The fact that Ohio State's offensive line has given him some opportunities along with the blocking fullback. When he gets into the second level, he's as good as you're going to see in the country because of his power. A safety comes up to try to bring him down, and he runs right through their shoulder pads. I don't think they're going to get there.
I don't either.
No, I don't either.
I think he'll take a besides Country Western Award.
Absolutely.
Beanie tiptoes for, boy, I'll tell you, and then he picks up about 4 yards just when you think he's going to get only 2. Well, quiet big house here in Ann Arbor. So we'll go to work on the play clock. I should say that game clock, meant to say, and I was looking at the play clock myself that time. Beanie Wells, of course, the player of the game.
As well, and he's done a great job here in Ann Arbor.
Here's Beanie. Picks up the first down at the 30-yard line.
As well, and he's done a great job here in Ann Arbor.
Here's Beanie. Picks up the first down at the 30-yard line. The one point that I want to make about Lloyd is we kid about the halftime interviews, and sometimes he's a little bit of a curmudgeon to deal with. But when you talk about a class act and representing his school,
yep.
I totally agree with you. He's a solid football man, and no matter, this is a bum year, and Michigan fans have a right to be upset about the way it started, the way it's ending, and I don't blame him. But when you look at the whole body of work, ladies and gentlemen, it is very positive for Lloyd Carr, and that's how he should be viewed no matter what he decides. Kirk, you and I have no inside information. I sort of think that this is it, that he'll call it a career and step away. And
it's the toast of the town in Columbus, Ohio.
And Beanie breaks free again. We've got a 200-yard rusher on our hands, folks, in a Michigan-Ohio State game.
People talk about what you do in the Ohio State-Michigan game is remembered forever. Well, Beanie Wells must have looked in the mirror and had some serious soul-searching as he approached this stadium. I mentioned, he said earlier this week to James Laurinaitis, who conveyed that to me, he said, James, I've got to start fast this game. So many of the games this year, I've waited until the second half to take it over. This game, I want to start fast, and you could tell his attitude was on display this afternoon.